Well, hello there. I just want to welcome you back to the Toad Talk. Um, if you hear extra noise, I apologize. I could not get my external Bluetooth AirPods mic to sync up with the app, with the iPhone app. And honestly, the microphone that's built into the AirPods is not that good of quality. I never realized that until just a few minutes ago. I just wanted to come on here and just talk for a little bit about some things. Kind of like wrote some topics down for today. Ooh, it's chilly. It's honestly chilly today. Sorry, I was waiting on this class to walk by. I think they're like a middle school class. Like kids can take walks on this greenway. There's this huge paved greenway that just goes on like throughout Eugene. It goes through like other cities too. Like there's so many greenways in Oregon. I thought there was a bunch of greenways in North Carolina, but honestly there's way more out here, which I love. To get back on topic, I want to talk about dealing with anxiety first and foremost, because I have a background in being really wound up, being overwhelmed, and listening to that voice in our head that is anxiety, that tells us crazy shit, you know? Anyways, back to what I was saying. We all have that voice in our head sometimes, and it can be difficult to turn that voice off, or to at least turn the volume down, you know? And I honestly tend to spiral a lot of the times, and some of the things that have helped me with dealing with my anxiety has been to just honestly turn everything off, like video, music, sometimes just going into a quiet state of being has helped me, because whenever I'm feeling anxious or overwhelmed or anything like that, my immediate go-tos are to like put some music on or watch a funny YouTube video, something that might make me laugh in the moment. In hindsight, like while I'm consuming that video, my subconscious is absorbing it, and it's like a bitter taste in my mouth. It's like, yeah, this is comedy, but it's like instant gratification, short-term comedy. And is this really funny, or am I like just trying to distract myself? You know what I mean? Like, I love comedy, and I'm a Scorpio sun, Capricorn rising, Aries moon, so I'm all about some like dark humor, and you know, like, oh my god, Sundance, you can't say that. Like, I was such a part of like the shock value culture, and it's just part of the internet generation that I grew up in. So, you know, we consume all of this information and all of these energies, not realizing what we're actually consuming, you know, for the long run. And I've consumed so much like unhealthy things that I thought might have been cool or funny or beneficial to me in that moment, but like in the long haul, I've been like spiritually cleansing and detoxing from all of these things, from like years worth of stuff that I'm consuming because of trauma responses and all of that. You know, whenever you put a lid over boiling water and the water just spews over, that's kind of how all of that is for me. Like, I can suppress some shit. I can be really good at suppressing some shit, but that's another trauma response. And I am getting into the habit of acknowledging what it is that's triggering me, feeling it, and then releasing it, not holding on to it, not circling back to it, you know, because whenever you release it for good, you know. So I've just been dealing with a lot of anxiety because of the situation that I've basically put myself in as far as like living. I've been, for the past 6 months, going on 7 months, doing this position as an on-site property manager for an apartment. I started out as an on-site manager for this high-rise in downtown Eugene, and it was okay when I first started. It was just like kind of a high maintenance building. You expect things to happen, like floods, leaks, this and that and the third. Well, it was becoming so toxic for me as far as like the energy of the people that lived there. On the surface, it looks like an amazing benefit, a perk. Like, oh my gosh, I could live somewhere rent free and have utilities provided and blah blah blah, and it sounds like a lot of perks. But then you get into it and all of that washes away and you realize that you're honestly being kind of punished in a way. I know it's all in how you look at it and you can shift your awareness, but I'm speaking from my own personal experience. I was starting to become suffocated and smothered, and I was feeling trapped almost, because not only was I living on site, but whenever it's a high-rise building situation, the front doors to the units and rooms are like in a hallway. That's exactly how this building was. It was taking a toll on me to not ever have like a separation from work and home. I talked to my peers and supervisors to see what could be done, and they told me that we could move me to a different place that's way more low-key and low maintenance. I was like, oh hell yeah, you know, I can still have housing and I can still get a paycheck from this job, and I'm gonna have so much more free time to be able to do things like this, like my YouTube, and start working on my clothing brand that I've been saying I'm gonna work on for a fucking almost a year now. But I was thinking, you know, like all of these things. Once again, I was being sold, I was being hooked on like the what they tell you on the surface level. I didn't realize that I was going to the worst possible property that this company has to offer, as far as the location, the type of people that live there. And I'm not judging by any means. Nobody's perfect, but I can't be taking steps back as far as my spiritual progress goes. And you know, I'm on the stairway to ascension. It really knocked me down hardcore whenever I got to this place, this new place, new to me. And it honestly was worse than I could have ever imagined. And I know it's not all about, sorry, I'm like getting distracted because someone's playing a singing bowl in the distance, which very rarely happens here. Anyways, ADHD moment. So back to what I was saying. This place was way worse than I could have ever imagined, and the people that live at this place make it so much worse. Like I would much rather deal with like a shitty building that's like, you know, dilapidated or whatever, or infestations or mold. Like all of that sucks, but I'd much rather have that than the toxic energy. Mind you, I'm on a bottom ground level unit, and I came from living on a very top floor. It's just really stagnant, toxic energy. That's kind of like, it gives you like the vibe of like slums. I grew up in the hood. Like I grew up in like a very multicultural background. So, you know, I'm like part redneck, part hood, part hippie, part goth kid, like, and I'm grateful for that. But I'm by no means judging the type of people that live here. It's just not meant for me. And honestly, that's why I'm making the conscious decision to move back into my vehicle and have more peace of mind and more like freedom, you know. For example, it's so bad where I live that there's times where I energetically feel paralyzed. Like I can't even move outside. There's times where I want to get in my car and leave and go somewhere, but the fear is what holds me back. And that's also what I'm like releasing, you know, working on releasing in this video and everything. I get afraid of someone like stealing my parking spot and me not being able to park in my designated spot, which says staff only. There's always people doing all kinds of shit that they're not supposed to be doing at this complex, and I'm expected to be like a security guard and like walk around and tell people like, no, you can't do this. And like, I shouldn't have to be doing that. I shouldn't have to be babysitting grown-ass adults and telling them common courtesy things like shutting a door to a building, you know, so that heat or cooling doesn't dissipate and so bugs don't come in. Like common sense things. And honestly, I have been so underpaid with this position, like so underpaid. I'm talking like less than fast food wages. which is a hard pill to swallow considering the amount of stress that I put on myself to do a good job at any location position that I go to. I was giving my all and getting a little bit more than nothing back, you know, and I'm not doing that for any company anymore. It got so bad to the point where I literally had to get a second job because I was starving to death. I applied for food stamps and Medicaid, got denied that because of me having housing that was provided for me and yada yada yada. Basically the state of Oregon told me that since I had everything being taken care of for me by my employer, I had no need to get food stamps or Medicaid, which really was disturbing, and it was devastating to me because I was literally going without and starving. So I got a second job as a caregiver. That was a cool little gig. I'm getting burnout on that too, on this caregiving job. I'm in the process of moving into my vehicle and quitting this property management job. I'm actually going to be quitting it Friday. I'm still not feeling completely fulfilled with just being a caregiver, and today is currently Wednesday, so we're going to backtrack to yesterday. I had a new client that I have never met before, and it was out in the middle of nowhere, which I completely love. I love rural, remote places as long as I can find them and as long as I can get my way in and get my way out. And but there was no service. Whatever, I can deal with that. I go in though, and this gentleman is bedbound and wheelchair bound. It was very triggering for me to clean out like his catheter and his pee bag, and it wasn't like a personal thing towards him. It was definitely more of a personal thing towards me. I have some inner childhood trauma to heal through. Me and my siblings and my parents had elderly people that would like be in and out of our life. You know, my stepdad's, I think his dad or his grandpa lived with us when I was a little kid up until he passed. And I remember the caregivers coming into our home and all of that, and just the smells, and it just this was my first type of caregiving shift where I had to do more like CNA type work and not like a companion. Like, I'm fine with being a companion person, like a caretaker, I guess. Like, you know, I can cook for you and clean your house and feed and water the animals and water the plants, and I can run errands for you. Like, I'm fine doing that. I'm fine working an overnight 12-hour shift, which is what I started out doing. I was working for this lovely woman that had Alzheimer's, and she lived in this beautiful location in a beautiful home, so quiet, so secluded, and it was just the best. It worked out the best for me energetically. I know that I can't always have it like that because of balance and the duality that we live in, but it just comes down to me knowing that I am meant to work for myself. And it comes down to me knowing that nothing is really going to change for me until I step out of my comfort zone and step out of this normal 9-to-5 box that I've put myself in and that society has put me in. And even if that means financially having to make things stretch for a little bit, I honestly would much rather budget as much as I can and just enjoy the things in life than work my life away and in the end wishing that I hadn't. You know, I don't want to work for 5 days just to appreciate 2 days. And I know that there's so many people that out in the world, and even people that might be watching this video, that are like, well, bud, that's just how life is. And I'm here to tell you that that's not the case. You and me, we all manipulate and control and create the realities that we live in and the universe that we live in. And so I am choosing to work for myself. I am choosing to make this YouTube my job. One of many jobs that I'm going to be doing, but it's not even going to feel like a job to me. I am just cultivating and creating a way for me to sustain a life for myself, not starve to death, also have joy and passion with what I'm putting out into the universe, because that's what everybody deserves. Everybody deserves, including myself, to have something good at the end of the day to watch or to consume. And people are so focused on the bad and like what's going on in the world and what we don't have and what we want. And um, I'm just here to shift that gratitude to what we currently have, and to also remind you that you can have whatever you want. You can have it all. And you miss out on opportunities whenever you don't take a chance. And as I said that, I felt a ripping pain in my chest, like in my heart, because I know that I myself am literally going to have to step out of my comfort zone and just quit my job on a whim, and just be vulnerable to the universe and continue to post this and upload this. I will do odds and end type of gigs here and there whenever I can to like make money. But I'm just really focusing on my own happiness, and I don't need a bazillion dollars to be happy. You know, I just want to be comfortable, and I can be comfortable in my car with my cat and just appreciating the simpler things in life. Because in the end, what all can you really take with you to the other side? Whatever the other side may be. You can't take your big ass house with you. You can't take all those cars with you and all that jewelry and everything like that. But you can take the memories with you, and you can take the love and the kindness with you, and the seeds that you've been planting for so long. You can let them grow and carry on a legacy. And that's what I'm working towards. Whenever I'm starting to feel myself spiral or get anxiety, or panicking or manic, if it's something concerning money or a job or me not wanting to do something, I just shift my awareness immediately to what I want and what I'm working towards, as a way to remind myself why I'm doing what I'm doing. So if I'm thinking about work, for example, it's I'm not sure what time it is, but I have a caregiving shift from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. today. And rather than me looking at it like, oh, I have to, go do this and stop what I'm doing and be, locked down at a place for so long, I'm shifting it to what I want to be doing, which is being on a farm, like on my own land, and, waking up as the sun rises or after the sun rises, just waking up at my own leisure and making coffee in like a manual coffee grinder, and, going outside either naked or in whatever I want to wear, and talking to the birds and the plants and the animals, and saying good morning to the sun and the universe, and just, deciding on what I want to do that day after I feed the animals, and, deciding, do I want to make some art today, or do I want to, start building a new project, building a new shack or a property on the land, like just having the freedom to create and the freedom to be fluid every day, because every day is something different. Some days I wake up and I'm motivated and ready to get shit done, and then other days I'm just really needing a recharge, really needing to just kind of recluse and tuck myself in and just kind of like get away and restore. And I've just been so tired. I've been tired lately, and that's because I haven't been making time for myself, and because of not making time for myself, because of trying to balance 2 jobs and everything like that, or just a job in general. I haven't, how do I put this into human words? I spend so much of my personal time working and thinking about work and focusing about work that it really isn't personal time, but all the time that I have is my personal time. Does that make sense? And I've been giving all of my personal time to the thought of work and finances and job security. Like, whoever created that stigma and planted that seed into this generation, or like the past 50 years of generations of like you needing to have job security, go go heal. I almost said go fuck yourself, but I don't mean that. I mean go heal. See, shifting your awareness in like in a nanosecond. I'm getting better with that every day. So I'm just getting rid of the whole needing to have a job thing, and I'm getting back to discovering myself and my happy place. And you know, a year ago today, me and my partner were living in the van, and we were just so free-spirited. And yeah, there was a lot of growth that was meant to happen on both of our ends, but I don't think that we would be taking steps back as far as our spiritual progress if we did that again. I think it would be us learning from our mistakes in the past and kind of like regrouping and doing better for ourselves and better for each other. But I just appreciate the days and the energies where you don't have to worry about anything, but just being in that moment and just enjoying yourself. Just like I'm enjoying this sun right now. I'm enjoying looking at this green grass right now. And technically, right now, the company that I'm leaving thinks that I'm supposed to be working at that complex right now. But they can go on and heal themselves, putting it spiritually nicely. Because I'm not giving any more of myself to that toxic company or to any company like that. I'm not. I'm giving this time, this personal time, that's mine. It's my time, and I'm giving it to myself. And I'm not sorry about that. And I am honestly feeling really good with the flow of this. And this is just me being me. And I don't feel bad about it. I don't feel bad about being chatty Cathy and just having a million things to get off my chest. And honestly, I'm so grateful that I have this as a platform to be able to vent and also connect with people and let them know that they're not alone. And if I'm ever hanging out with somebody, this is just a download, like a spiritual download that I just got just now. If I'm ever hanging out with somebody and if I feel like I'm being too talkative around them, that should be a red flag for me that I'm not meant to be giving all of my energy to them. Because if it was like a true vibe, then they wouldn't care about me being super talkative. They would be like vibing right there with me and appreciating me and all of that, you know? This is just coming from a place of an empath. As an empath, I literally, that feeds and enables my anxiety a lot of the time. Sorry, this dude was literally like on a bicycle and he saw me making a video. I guess people don't do that in Oregon, or in public at least. But this dude was rolling by and was like, and then almost wrecked his bike. Stay in your lane, homie. A vibe is a vibe though. A vibe is sacred. And I'm just so grateful to have a platform like this and to create a life for myself of financial success and financial creativity and abundance. And I am releasing the thoughts, fears, and worries about money. And I'm just trusting the universe, trusting that the money is going to come to me however it's meant to come to me. And I am going to stop wondering, like just wondering in general. I'm no longer going to be like questioning, like, am I doing the right thing? Am I divinely where I'm supposed to be? Because you already are. By the divinity of the universe, from the moment that your soul is created on an astrological level, your whole life contract is carved out for you, like a code, like an HTML code or something. And so whatever is happening for you and whatever you're going through, just know that you're growing through that, because it was going to happen to you regardless. I don't know if y'all remember that meme from Scared Straight, that episode of that transgender prison inmate that was like, I was waiting on you at the door. That is the soul contract. Our soul contracts are like hiding behind the shadows and the trees, and they're just like, we've been waiting on you at the door for this moment. That was a pure smile of joy that I just felt, and I'm feeling more warmed up now. I don't feel as like socially awkward. People are just walking by doing their thing, and I'm genuinely just being happy right now. And this is what happiness looks like. And I'm just gonna be vulnerable with y'all, because why not? You can't heal if you can't be vulnerable. But I'm literally so happy that I have tears in my eyes because I just feel free. And I'm enjoying this moment, and I'm enjoying the sun and the blue sky, and I'm just so happy that I get to be here. And I just want to thank you. Wow. I have these like notes. They're not really notes, they're kind of notes, like little bullet points for today's Toad Talk. And the very last bullet point note says, by doing things that bring me joy, I attract joy, optimism, and abundance. And I feel that because this is what makes me happy. You know, filming and editing, it genuinely makes me so happy. And honestly, I just had a download of me putting my services like on Craigslist and Facebook for like filming for people, and it taking off. You know, there's so many ways for me to flourish in life, and it doesn't have to be with a job where I am constantly clocking in and out and constantly having to worry about, should I go to this shift? Am I going to make it to this shift? Am I going to make it through this shift? Like, just all those feelings of doubt and those thoughts of doubt and agony and misery. It's not for me. You know, I can live a healthy, successful life in a non-conventional way, you know? There's a really cute wiener dog behind the camera, and it's so cute. And I look forward to being in a space where I can hold the space for a dog again. I'm grateful for Abundance, my cat. Me and Bun Bun are going to be thugging it out in my car. She did great in my truck. We legit lived in the back of my truck for like 2 months. And what I mean by the back of the truck is like the back seat, not the bed. The bed was too small to sleep in, so we legit were like huddled up, but it was fine. But I'm going to be doing more things like this, you know? I really am feeling this warmth soak into me, and I genuinely am meant to feel it. Just like I'm meant to experience every little ounce of life that I can get, you know? Every little ounce of beauty that I can get. The universe has so much to give, I can never get too much. I feel light. I also feel light ever since I, you know, shaved my head and just let go of all of that negative energy. And I'm proud of myself for doing it with good intention of releasing the negative energy, and just having new beginnings rather than not having an intention behind it and doing it from a place of being in a manic state of mind, which is unhealthy. And I've done that in the past, and it's a strong urge sometimes, but I released that, and yeah, I feel good. I feel like I'm growing into the person that I am supposed to be right now. And it's okay if I don't have it all figured out right now. I'm 25 years old, and I will be 26 in October. And I had that thought this morning while I was getting ready for a shower, and I was like, wow, I'll be 26 this year, wow. And then I immediately had like a spiral thought of like, I'm 26, and what do I have to show? And da 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 da. And I had to shift my awareness to gratitude and positivity. And I was like talking to my higher self and my subconscious and just reminding myself, like, you were really out here doing your damn thing. You got yourself out of North Carolina on your own, drove across the country. You've done it twice now. And you are creating a life for yourself. Be fucking proud. Like, good job, you know? And I don't give myself enough credit sometimes. I'm not saying that I need to like gloat, but I do need to toot my own horn sometimes. I really have to stop being hard on myself in the sense of putting myself down, beating myself up, doubting myself, sabotaging myself and my dreams with negative thoughts and beliefs, and reacting negatively to the people around me, which is also why I'm getting out of this apartment that I'm currently in, because it's not healthy for my well-being and my state of being. These people trigger me, and I'm well aware that it's not, it's basically how I react is like the most important thing, and that's why I am making the conscious decision to leave for my best interest, my greater health. I love animals so much. A duck just flew by me and gave me peace of mind. So I'm gonna take a little moment and just meditate, and yeah, you can do whatever works best for you. I have issues with my tailbone. I broke my tailbone when I was like 15, and so it's hard for me to sit like firmly planted into the root chakra. That's something that I am in the process of like dealing with and growing through, making sure my butt's not wet, because this grass is still a little dewy. Okay, so we're gonna just cross our legs. You can put one leg in front of the other if that works for you. I'm gonna take these glasses off, and you can just let your hands rest. I like to let my hands rest with the palms facing up. That is in the position to receive, specifically with the left hand. That is the receiving hand, and your right hand is your giving hand. So I'm receiving good intention, good energy, and I'm giving and releasing things that no longer serve me, things that sabotage me or hold me back, negative thoughts, doubts, worries, fears. That's what I'm releasing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna inhale, and on your inhale, I want you to hold for 4 seconds, and as you exhale, I want you to exhale for 7 seconds, okay? So inhale, exhale, you feel that lightness? We're gonna do that 3 times, okay? So you're gonna inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just a very light feeling. And then what I like to do is bring the palms close to the heart chakra to close and seal that love in. I can feel my butt getting wet as we speak. And namaste. A nice bow for gratitude. Namaste. I would love to get into doing guided meditations, and I honestly might throw them in every now and then. The whole purpose of this channel is very mixed. It's very fluid. There is no one purpose for this channel other than for all of you, including myself, to have a safe space. This is a safe space that we're in right now. So if you ever are feeling overwhelmed or manic or unsafe or unwell, come back to this place, because it's here for you always. And I just want to thank you for being here with me, for listening to me, I definitely feel lighter. I definitely feel heard. I definitely feel validated and valid in the way that I am doing things. Um, and I just want you to know that you have every right to be happy. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to have everything that you want in life. Um, so, yeah, next time that you're feeling a little uneasy or being unkind to your mind, stop and give yourself a hug and remind yourself you're doing the best that you can in this moment. You're doing the absolute best that you can, and I'm proud of you. You should be proud of you. um, Thank you, and if you enjoy watching this, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're feeling up to it. And you can turn your notification bell on as well. That way, every time that I post, you'll get a notification on your phone or email, however you have it set up. And yeah, let's just keep raising our vibrations and keep loving ourselves. Rise to the skies, you know? Anything is possible. Much love. Namaste. Until next time, I'm Sundance. Thank you for coming to my Toad Talk.